Hey there, first graders. We are in our practice book today. It is page SS6. Again, you don't want just page 6, you want SS, the letters SS in front of it. SS6. We're going to start by reading our directions. It says, say each picture name. Write P below the picture if its name begins like pin. You hear the p in front of pin. Write T below the picture if its name begins like toy. T, t, t. Now remember the letter P, we're not going to go P. There's no there. It's just like air. P, p, like popping popcorn. P, 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 p. Okay, so this first picture is a toothbrush. Do we hear the T or the P? I hear a T. So I'm going to write a T, and it's going to be a lowercase t. Remember, again, we talk about these lines here. The top line, you think of it like a little stick figure person who has a belt. The little person is wearing a belt around their pants. The top line, if we're thinking of that little stick figure person there, the top line is where their head is. The dotted line is where their belt is. And the bottom line is where their feet are. So we say head line, belt line, foot line. Okay, so when I'm going to draw the T, I'm going to start just below the headline and go straight down. Wow, that's light. Let me see if I can fix that. And then my cross for the T is going to be just underneath the belt line. Let me see if this next one would be better here. Next, we have a pig. P, p, p. I hear that popping P sound there. So I'm going to start right beneath the headline, go all the way down past the foot line. And then the belly of it comes right here just under the belt line, nice and fat and around to the foot. I'm not sure why the color on this is a little bit lighter. Let me try another thickness here. Maybe I'll try 5 here. All right, and then we next have a picture of a turtle. T, t, t. I hear that T sound. Ooh, that's nice and dark. That did the trick. Then we have a pencil. P, p, p. That's showing up much better. And then I think this guy here is supposed to be a tiger. T, t, t. And then it looks, I know it kind of looks like a measuring cup because there's little lines there, but I think that's just supposed to be shading. I think it's a pan. A pan. P, p, p. Okay, now so I see some more bold words. When I see bold words, the darker words, they're often directions, not always, but they're often directions, so I want to make sure I read them. If there's any words before an activity, you want to read them because they're the directions. It says, say each picture name, write P below the picture if its name ends, really important, ends. We're not looking at the beginning now, like cup. Write T below the picture if its name ends like bat. T, t. So here we have mop. P, mop. I do hear that P at the end of mop. And it ends that way, so I'm going to go ahead and write my P here, my lowercase p. And then foot, foot, or feet, however you want to say. I do hear the T. There's actually not more than one foot there, so we probably want to say foot instead of feet. And then you actually have this written on the bar here. It's a bar of soap, soap. P, p. Oops. Okay, so remember, again, if you get tired, you could pause the video and come back to it after you have a little bit of a break, but we like to do all three that go with this part of the lesson at one time in the video. You don't have to do it all at one time, though. So I'm going to flip to the next practice piece. Here it says, say each picture name, write N below the picture if its name begins, like nest, nest. Write R if its name begins like rat, rat. Okay, so we're talking about beginning. I should underline that there too. So here I have a nut that's in its shell there. Nut. So I do hear that N. I'm going to start at the belt line, go down to the foot line, go back up the line I just made, and then break away right about there, almost touch the belt line, and go down to the foot line for a lowercase n. This is a cute picture. Excuse me. This is a picture of a robot. Robot. Okay, so for my lowercase r, I'm going to start at the belt line, go down to the foot line, crawl back up that line I just made, and break away a little bit beforehand, and then I touch and curve, touch the belt line and curve a little bit. Here we have nest. I do hear that at the beginning of nest, so let's write our lowercase n. The R is a lot like the N, it just keeps going, kind of. And then here, this is called a rake. Rake. The next one is a needle. Needle. And then you have rope. Rope. The next set of directions say each picture name. Then write N below the picture if its name ends. Like fun. So now we're looking at the ending of it, and it needs to sound like the ending of fun. So that's that N sound. Balloon, balloon. I do hear the N. Goat, goat. I don't hear an N. And this looks like a can, can. I do hear it. I hear that N. Okay, let's go ahead and head to our last page for today. This is where we're just getting some penmanship practice in. Remember, we want to try to write our letters as neatly as possible. We have the uppercase P, which is going to start at the headline, go all the way down to the foot line, and then come back up to the headline and make that nice belly on it, ending at the belt line. For your lowercase p, it starts at the belt line, goes down past the foot line, back up to the belt line and around. And you just keep doing that. You do not need to go as fast as I am. You could even pause the screencast if you want to. And I'm not going to draw all these, I'm just drawing a few so you see how to do it, and then you could keep doing it. Once you're finished tracing that one and this one, you want to use these dots, those little tiny light dots there, to help you start your next ones where you're doing it just all by yourself. So this second dot is for the lowercase p. Okay, now we come to the T. You start at the headline, go all the way down to the foot line, and then you just put the top on it. Here you start just beneath the headline, and you cross it right on the belt. Those T's are not too bad, actually. I think they're kind of one of the easier letters to write. Some others can get tricky, but T's are not too bad. You keep on going. Remember, when you get to these dots here, you want to do it basically without tracing. You're trying to do it on your own, but they give you the starting points. And then finally, the N, the uppercase N, starts at the headline, goes all the way to the foot line, goes back up to the headline, kind of comes down at a slant to the foot line, and then straight up back to the headline. Lowercase n starts at the belt line, goes down to the foot line, comes and curves around at the belt, and then back down to the foot. Now remember, I want you to fill out all these. I want you to keep tracing the ones that you need to trace, and then do all of the ones where they want you to do it. Whoops, I made that too big. Where they want you to do it on your own. So don't leave these blank. Just because I am in this video, I just don't want to take up all this video time or screencast time in writing out all of them. You're able to do that after you see some of the examples. Here the directions say write a sentence. Use the letters from this page. It'd be great if you could try to squeeze in words that have all of the letters in them somehow. You know, use the P, the T, and the N, but if you can't, at least go for 2 of them. Use at least 2 of the letters. And you could begin your sentence in any way that you wish. Just remember that it needs to be a complete sentence. If I just said, like I mentioned in the other screencast, if I just said yellow bananas, you would have no idea what I'm talking about. You'd be like, you know, she's crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. But if I said, I love eating yellow bananas, that's a complete thought. People understand me when I say that. That's what sentences are. Sentences are complete thoughts. Remember that you will want a capital letter at the beginning of your sentence, and you do want end punctuation. End punctuation, let me see if I could draw over here. End punctuation could be either a period that looks like that, an exclamation point that people use when they're super excited or angry, or a question mark. That's what we use when we're asking a question. Let me draw that question mark one more time because that's the one that people usually have a hard time with. There we go. Nice work, boys and girls. See you soon.